Kelli Shallal, registered dietitian and personal trainer behind your favorite healthy living blog, Hungry Hobby. I'm jumping on today to answer a really common question that I get, and that is, are peanut butter and jelly sandwiches actually healthy? So if you want to know if peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are actually healthy, then stick around because I'm going to share all about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and 3 things you need to look for. Alright, so what are those 3 things? Well, the first thing is bread, right? We have to have something to spread our peanut butter and jelly on. So here I've got 2 pieces of whole grain bread. Now, when it comes to bread, there's a lot of controversy out there. We won't get into all the controversy about bread, but let's talk about the types of bread that you could potentially purchase for your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because they do vary pretty widely as to the types of bread that you can buy. So we want to go towards 100% whole grain breads. If you get white bread, bread made with wheat in white enriched flour, I would say, I'm going to go ahead and say it, that's probably not very healthy. And here's why: because that sugar is going to break down very fast into your bloodstream, cause a very big blood sugar spike, and not keep you full for very long. In contrast, whole grain bread, 100% whole grain bread, is going to have more fiber and more protein, which is going to help keep you fuller after eating this wonderful classic American sandwich. So you want to make sure you have 100% whole grain bread. Now you guys, one of the most common things I see on food labels that's tripped me up before, don't let it trip you up. Don't make this mistake when it comes to picking bread for your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Make sure the label actually says 100% whole grain. Multigrain may not be what you're after, because multigrain means many different types of grains, but they could all be processed bleached white flours. One made from wheat, one made from spelt, one made from millet, etc. So you want a bread that says 100% whole grain. You also want a bread with minimal added sugars, additives, preservatives, etc. I used to tell people that they wanted to look at the bread label and find the shortest ingredient list possible. But now, lots of companies have come out with breads that are 100% whole grain, that are also multi-grain, and they have a ton of, different types of grains and seeds in them, and they are really great breads. So you really want to read your ingredient list and make sure that you can understand everything in the ingredient list. You don't see any white bleached flour. If you're gluten-free, same thing goes. Be careful of tapioca flour, cassava flour. There are gluten-free breads that are 100% whole grain, just not containing gluten or gluten-containing flours. Breads also vary in the amount of sugar and sodium they contain, so watch that as well. So now that we've cleared up bread and we've got our 2 pieces of 100% whole grain bread, you can see this one's got a lot of wonderful nuts and seeds in it. Well, I guess not nuts, but seeds and sprouted grains in it. It's really wonderful. We are ready to add our ingredients, the good old peanut butter and jelly. So, which one are we talking about first? Let's talk about peanut butter, because this is where it's all at, right? So, when it comes to peanut butter, is peanut butter healthy for you? I believe it is. Peanut butter contains about 8 grams of protein and 15 grams of healthy fats per serving. Now, what is a serving? A serving is about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's not a ton, but here's the thing. I find 2 common mistakes that I don't want you to make when it comes to putting peanut butter on your sandwich. I know you think it would be simple, but it might not be, because here's the deal. I either see people don't put enough. I've been guilty of this in the past. They measure out their peanut butter, they put a half a tablespoon of peanut butter, just enough to get a little taste, because they know that peanut butter is calorie dense. For, a tablespoon, it's 100 calories. Now, that's like, a tiny little, let's see if we can estimate out a tablespoon. I'm probably even wrong, but that's probably close to a tablespoon there. It's not a lot. So, what does that mean? It means that, a lot of people will watch their calories on the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but they're missing out on all the protein and the healthy fat in there that's actually going to keep you full, because bread is predominantly carbohydrate, and jelly, even if we're going to talk about different types of healthy jelly, is predominantly carbohydrate, so your only protein and healthy fat is coming from the peanut butter, and that's what's actually going to keep you full in a meal. Really, protein and healthy fat, its job is to keep you full. So you want to make sure you put enough, but on the flip side of that, it's very calorie dense. So if you're going, you know, big old spoonful onto there, you know, this, I bet you I could get a fourth a cup in one knifeful. So then you're doing like 400 calories on your sandwich. So you want to be cognizant of not too much and not too little peanut butter, because it's really, really important part of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. As far as health reasons go, it's doubly important to make sure that you have the right amount. So you could measure it out, you know, use a tablespoon, etc., until you get the feel of what it's like, but just be careful and really, really gauge how much it is, how much you're using there. And if you start to find that, you know, you're regularly having these for lunch, or honestly, when I was pregnant, I had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for breakfast like every morning. Hit the spot, never made me feel nauseous, it was great. So if you're having it for breakfast, you know, gauge how you feel. If you're still feeling really hungry right after, maybe you're not putting enough peanut butter on. If you're full forever, then maybe you're doing too much. The next one is jelly. So when it comes to jelly, those will vary pretty significantly too. This one is pretty cognizant of different ones that I have find at the store. This one is sweetened with, so it's got organic strawberries, organic grape juice, natural apple pectin. They're all going to have pectin. They're all going to have ascorbic acid or citric acid or some combination. Vitamin C is a preservative to keep them, you know, shelf stable. So I prefer juice as a sweetener, or no sweetener if you can find that, to cane sugar, but really it's all sugar, so you just want to limit the amount of added sugar that's in there. And your nutrition fact label should tell you how much added sugar is in it, but if it doesn't, you can just look at the sugar content and compare different brands, because you don't want to add sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar, right? Now, another potentially healthy upgrade to your peanut butter and jelly sandwich would be using real fruit instead of, you know, a jelly, which is kind of processed. So you could do, I love banana slices, you could do peach slices, anything like that. You're gonna get more fiber that way, because and you're gonna get less added sugar, so you might stay fuller a little longer. But just plain old jelly is fine too. And you know, if you're watching your sugar amount, which everyone really should be, then you want to again watch how much jelly goes on there. And you know, a tablespoon or two is good. So if I had about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter on here, and these 2 pieces, that's about 8 grams of protein, and then these 2 pieces of bread should be about 6 grams of protein. So we're looking at 6 plus 8 is 14, so about 14 grams of protein in this sandwich, which is pretty good. I try to get about 14 to 20 per meal to keep me full. So are peanut butter and jelly sandwiches healthy? Yes, depends on how you make it, right? So hopefully this helped clear up an answer to that question and gives you some little things to think about when you eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I also have a blog post on this, which I'll link below. A blog post on bread, which I'll link below if you're still confused about bread. And I think that's it. 2 things I forgot to add. 1, peanut butter. Peanut butter should also be very minimal ingredient. So you'll notice this is just a normal one that I bought. It's not from like the healthy section of processed, you know, the natural peanut butters. I do think natural peanut butters are good. So if technically, like, the only ingredient in your peanut butter should really be just peanuts. No sugar, no added salt, etc. But if you really, really don't love that, or you need a shelf-stable one, I think a little bit of salt is fine in your peanut butter, to be honest. I always buy salted, except for the kids. I buy unsalted for my 10-month-old son. But other than that, I buy salted for me and my husband. If you don't have any kidney concerns, blood pressure concerns, or other concerns that would affect, you know, your need to watch your sodium intake, I think it's fine. I try to avoid added sugar, because you're going to get added sugar in so many other places. There's going to be sugar in the jelly, there's going to be sugar maybe in the bread. So I try to get peanut butter without any added sugar. Now, if you need a shelf-stable peanut butter, you know, that's where it gets a little tricky. Ideally, you're using the kind that you have to refrigerate after opening because there's going to be less preservatives and added oils in there. If you need a shelf addition to peanut butter nowadays, make sure you don't get anything with partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated oils because those have been linked to some pretty significant health consequences. So, peanut butter, ideally just peanuts, maybe some peanuts and salt, and you'll be good to go. All right, guys. So I hope you found this little demonstration and talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches helpful, and you can enjoy them going forward. I'm gonna go enjoy this right now. For this, make sure you click that red subscribe button underneath so that you never miss a update from Hungry Hobby and you always get your no BS nutrition tips, recipes, and workouts all in one place. And I love to hear from you and how you build your favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Have a good one, guys.